We've said many things about Dave over the years. I am saying only good things tonight because he has nurtured this organization, he has grown this organization, he has dedicated his life to this organization. And so we have to acknowledge that. So there are thanks from all of us. There are thanks from the board of directors, from the staff, everyone. Yes.
I'm so sorry, but we need the mic a bit
But closer, of course. Yes. Obviously not broadcast.
That's Andre, our producer. Thank you, Andre.
So there was a surprise today. Stay away, Dave. So Dave had a mentor way back when, a very famous U.S. journalist named Lowell Bergman, who did things about tobacco. He's one of the great investigative reporters of the 20th century and the early 21st century. And Lowell, as is his wont, decided he would send Dave a message tonight. And so I'm, of course, had to edit it. It's a little long, so we'll make it shorter. Lowell said, on being informed of your decision to retire, I was reminded that more than 40 years ago, you referred to me as your sensei? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Being older, I made no objection. It means mentor, I learned. But in this case, I was following you. You were the sensei. You were already on the trail of international organized crime long before I had any idea what that meant. You also grew the Center for Investigative Reporting into an example of what it means to have a vibrant, independent, nonprofit, pioneering, multi-platform, muckraking operation that thrives and inspires journalists. And David, you went international in a big way, so much so that today I get emails from my proteges, he always has proteges, and students who are doing the kind of reporting that you have worked so hard to keep alive and pass on to new generations. He said, David, I want to welcome you, my friend, to a new world of semi-retirement where you can catch up with your music, your family, and the rest of us. So, he said, when the party is over in Sweden, please reach out. There is work to be done. Hugs from his wife, Sharon, and from Lowell, from the other side of the earth. So, in any case, pretty good after 40 years or so. And now, do we have this right? Are there going to be a few other words? I think. Okay. Do we have something on the screen? I'm just trying to catch up.
What
He's
have
not
you
just a
done?
mentor,
Oh,
but he's
God.
that global icon. And today Zambia has a center for investigative journalism that my colleague and I set up, and I give credit to him.
Actually, he sees you. He sees you. It's just like, he's the one who has taught me how to wake up every morning full of passion and full of the desire to work and to do your job.
Dave willing to listen, willing to have a conversation, willing to mentor, provide advice, and actually come on a ground. Like I remember he coming all the way to India, to Agra, to see how fact-checking is and how investigative journalism is working in India.
Very early on, David understood that the power of investigative reporting is in collaborations, in cross-border collaborations.
And there Dave was holding court, meeting people, shaking hands, greeting people he hadn't seen for several years, clearly in his element. Someone who is recognized across the investigative journalism community as a bridge builder, an innovator, someone who's a leader.
And then David just jumps up on the stage and says all the right things to us. And suddenly we feel like we are a group, we are connected, we are bold, we are going to lift each other up. And it's his spirit that just infects the whole community and makes us a community.
And this combination of him being so inclusive and his personality spreading over the network, and then this little tiny bit of confusion is so fun, so great to watch when he's on the scene.
He has helped build and expand the organization to levels that I'm sure when GIJN started, we're only a dream and a project that's needed to be brought to reality.
I always remember our first conference in Rio. We didn't have an office. We were there outside on a table dealing with logistics, with social media, writing stories, everything from this small team. And
when Dave became the executive director of GIJN more than 10 years ago, I thought, wow, this could be tough. It might even be an impossible job.
But look at us now. We are truly a global community. And there are so many doing the same kind of work. And that's thanks largely to you.
Thank you, David Kaplan, for believing in the catalytic power of bringing people together in real life. You built this, launched this at a moment when that was very much not in vogue, very much this kind of old school analog approach. But it really does mean something to people. And you persisted in believing in it, you convinced others of it, and it's been transformative.
You can and should be very proud because you're leaving a lasting legacy that would not be there without your dedication, your hard work, your drive and commitment to the cause of investigative journalists.
Take it away, Dave. You are amongst the best.
Thank you. Thank you. I was doing pretty good until
I know. Thank you. So, you know, you do all this work, and what do you get? A trophy. But this really is amazing. It's amazing work, and this is just such a small recognition of what Dave has done. I'll read it to you really quickly. With our greatest appreciation, we hereby present David E. Kaplan. I always had to get that right. With this award in recognition of your outstanding and fundamental contribution to the investigative journalism community. So one more time, Dave, on the shelf, but not you. All right. And
thank you.
And now we will return to our regular programming. And I would like Amelia to come up now, wherever you are, and you get to say Amelia.
All right, now, we actually have a baton to pass. And I'll talk about that in a second. There's just one little more thank you I need to do. My wife and daughter are in the audience. They have put up with me for 11 years of growing GIJN, and you know, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Pam, Audiel, and then I want to extend it to the GIJN staff. That makes me look pretty good. I'm actually kind of a jerk, and people, it's hard to, have you guys met journalists? You're very hard to work with, and sometimes you knock heads and we disagree, but you move on and you get stuff done like these awards we just gave out. So really, from the heart, thank you to all of our staff, our board, everybody who has helped, and I love you. All right. The GIJN board, when I told them a year ago, I think I've had enough. I'm 68 now, and I've had 46 terrific years in journalism. I got to do projects for so many years, and I ran ICIJ in its formative years, and then we built the global association for the world's best journalists, and we're in 14 languages a day now. We've got a help desk, a resource center. We've really, and we've helped bring all of you together. The board wanted to find someone extraordinary to carry on what we've started and really bring GIJN to the next level. I am super pleased to say that we found that person. Emilia Diaz-Struck comes to us after world-class, world-recognized work at ICIJ, and she is a born teacher and educator. She's an expert in data journalism, knows AI. She's going to take GIJN to the next level. So as my last act, give me a second. As my last act at GIJN, Emmy, I pass you the baton. What? That's yours? Oh. The floor is yours.
Wow, what a night. And these days have been more than inspiring. Thanks, Dave, for all what you have done for GIJN. In the last weeks, I've been talking to the 40 people in 25 countries from our staff that Dave and Gabby and all our team have been recruiting. So the organization grew. And it has been inspiring to see all the amazing work. We see a lot happening at the conference, but beyond the conference, they're there for everyone in our global investigative journalism community. We have editors all around the world, taking care of all regions. We will continue doing that. We count also on all our global investigative journalism community. So our staff, and together with them, I will be dedicated to work together with you. So we count on you all because this is a global movement. We can't do this alone. And being these days at the conference, I actually remembered a saying from my home country, Venezuela. Dice, pónganse las alpargatas, que lo que viene es joropo. I will need to translate this. Alpargatas are dancing shoes for the traditional folk dance. And joropo is the traditional folk dance for my home country. But this is not literal. This saying means basically if you translate it literally, it would be let's put on the dancing shoes because the music is about to start. So yeah, we are going to dance later. But this saying is also referring to be prepared for big times. These times that we're living in investigative journalism involve attacks against journalists, journalists in exile, disinformation, censorship, authoritarianism, corruption has grown. We have human rights abuses around the world. We have citizens being affected by the decisions country leaders are making. And investigative journalism is there to holding the power to account. And that's why We have seen so many amazing stories from all around the world and sharing techniques in this conference. The context is also not all dark. There is also light, and there is also hope. We see collaborations, we see lots of data, we see tools, we see technology. We see humans, we see people, and these people are part of our network. This is basically the music that is surrounding us. But to dance the music, we need the right shoes, the right dancing shoes. And those dancing shoes involve GIJN, our Global Investigative Journalism Network. This Global Investigative Journalism Network that has grown, that has more than 240 member organizations around the world, that has gathered thousands of journalists here from more than 130 countries. These shoes involve training. It's not only enough to want to investigate. Under this context, we can't be naive. We need to take care about security. We need to learn how to take care about ourselves. We need to learn how to continue collaborating and grow the collaborative investigative journalism movement. When governments want to silence our journalists, they want us to feel alone. And here we have more than 2,000 journalists so we can tell each other, we are not alone. We are a global investigative journalism community. So these dancing shoes allow us to continue strengthening our community. And this also ends up in great investigations like the ones we're celebrating today that are relevant for citizens around the world. This shed light, brings transparency, and holds power to account. But now, to celebrate our 20th anniversary, the award winners, the global investigative journalism community, the investigative work that holds powerful to account and brings transparency, we can go literal, and tonight we can put on the dancing shoes and dance and celebrate. Thank you.